to the world. Subscribe now to the Hot 97 YouTube channel. It's Ebro in the Morning with Laura Stiles and Rosenberg.
I'm always not quite sure how much to focus on death, murder, mayhem on our program. And, you know, the Tyre Nichols story down in Memphis, Tennessee had everybody talking this past weekend. The video was released of the police brutally beating Tyre Nichols, a kid who did not know why he was being pulled over. Police tried to claim it was because reckless driving, but investigation found that was not the case. And then they proceeded to yank him out of the vehicle, handcuff him, and literally just punch him and beat him until he was basically, his body was limp, he was unconscious. Paramedics came to the scene. It took them approximately 20 minutes to attend to Tyre Nichols as he sit there on the ground, and the police walked around joking about what kind of shots they had taken on him. It was all caught on their body cams as well as street cameras in the area. The 5 officers that were beating on him were all fired and have been charged. There's another officer who participated in tasing him and also was caught on video camera saying, "I hope we stomped him out."
Black cops.
Well, interesting you say that. The officers that have been charged are black. Mm-hmm. The officer that participated in tasing him and was caught on camera saying, I'm pretty sure something to the effect of stomped him out. He was a white cop. He has not been charged. So that's going to be this week's. And even Tyre Nichols' father was on the news saying, you know, what's going on with this white officer. Because y'all was quick to charge these black officers. So we'll see where that goes this week. But the reason I'm always unsure how far to go with it, like, you know, because we all, I guess, I assume everybody that listens to our program, I can take phone calls of people upset and saying what we want to happen to police officers and saying we want this and saying we want that. You know, we don't broadcast in Memphis, Tennessee. We broadcast in tri-state areas, places in Philly, Oregon, and Texas, but I mean places in Pennsylvania, not in Philly, but so it just feels like we'd be gathering to just commiserate around a sad incident. And I think the what I would like to share with people when these things happen is, are we checking on each other because of how traumatizing and triggering these repeated incidents are of us watching police, people in uniform, commit heinous acts of violence. And, you know, for myself, that takes me back to my childhood and the environment that I grew up in with watching my father have to fight with cops. You know, going all the way back to stories you hear from family members being abused by cops, police brutality in general. Maybe people who are old enough to remember the Rodney King video when that first went out. Obviously, more recent, whether it's Breonna Taylor or George Floyd and the many other names that we have to constantly kind of like fight this fight against the state. And because we know we're dealing with a culture of policing that is based on abusing black people, dehumanizing black people, and poor people in general. Because that's the whole instrument of policing is really, really leaning on abusing black people and poor people in general. When you think about it, those are the people who are usually on video getting abused by cops. People who they feel they can get away with treating like that. Because they're not treating everybody like that.
No.
How many videos have we seen of, like, you know, white people having a situation sort of similar to Tyree's where, like, it goes left, they end up running. Sometimes way worse than that. Like, they steal the cop car. They
get in their car, drive off, do all type of nonsense.
All of it. We've seen all of it.
And Tyree's
They not
case, just
treating anybody like they treated Tyre Nichols. They not doing that. They do that to people that they think they can get away with it with.
You know what really upset me besides everything? Like, I watched the whole, like, 20-minute body cam version where you can really hear everything. And, like, you can just hear from the second Tyre starts communicating that, like, he wasn't trying to do anything. Like, you can hear from the tone of his voice, like, you know, nervousness, apprehension, fear, concern. What you did not hear was aggression or someone that was going to put you in danger in any way. That's what you felt so, he was so powerless in the situation. And then afterwards, they're like, he put his hand on my gun. He almost took my gun.
Right.
Yeah, but that's performative. They're doing that for their cameras.
Of course. Right.
They're doing that for their body cam cameras.
But did they forget about the cameras when they then start showing off about it? Like, yo, I really laid in some good shots. Like, I guess they forgot at some point.
No, they didn't. They didn't think they had to care. Which goes to the cultural aspect of many police precincts around the nation, is the culture part. Because these police officers hadn't been on the force that long.
Ebro told me they're all in their 20s, like 25, 26.
Yeah.
So what does that really say? That says people join being a police officer because this is whom they really want to be, and they get an opportunity to be this person when they put on that uniform. They feel protected. And or this is the culture, this is the acceptable behavior that goes on, and they think they can just treat people like this. Because they will absolutely do it to people they could think they get away with it, who nobody's going to believe or listen to. And the young man, Tyre Nichols, was 100 yards from his house, screaming for his mom as these police beat him. And as Tyre knew that he was being beaten senseless, and that was the only point of this moment in his life, yes, he tried to run. Absolutely. So, you know, I didn't watch the video myself. I'm not ingesting that, but I definitely read articles because I've seen enough videos in my life. And even, you know, in my family, as people wanted to bring it up, I honestly kind of avoided the convo and just listened to other people talk, because I knew I was gonna have to talk about it on the show today. But it's just so heavy that the first thought I have is always making sure that people who look like me and people who I love are okay. Because you're going to walk out into the world today, and this is what people are going to be talking about. And specifically as a black person, it's something that people want to talk to you about, which makes it even more heavy. Because people you know and people who care about you know that someone who looks like you or looks like someone that you love was just beaten to death on video. And so people are going to ask you about it, and I know it's going to just be emotional. So I guess I want to say to everyone, hug somebody today, love on somebody today, because it is the type of thing that could spiral and you could project this negative energy into your personal life and cause yourself some emotional harm, or somebody you love and don't intend to lash out at them like that. You know, so just, you know, take a beat today, because we're going to be reliving this Tyre Nichols video and convo for the next little while.